Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at this brand new 2023 BMW 430i Convertible. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this convertible for me today. Check out their website, that link is down in the description. The 430i that you see behind me is finished off in Argentine red metallic, and we'll go over the MSRP once we get this out on the road to go over all the features, specs, and get this out on the road and really see if it can justify that MSRP. So we'll start off today's review with what powers this 430i. This has a 2-liter twin power turbo inline 4-cylinder engine paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 255 horsepower, 294 pound-feet of torque. That power sent to the rear wheels. This weighs in right around 3,500 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 26 miles per gallon in the city, 34 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.2 inches. Its overall length is 188 inches. It has a width of 72.9 and a height of 54.8 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this 430i, let's start off with the kidney grille. So for this model, it's finished off in chrome with some of the brushed accents running throughout it. There's also parking sensors and the active grille shutters, so those will open to provide a little bit better aerodynamics and cooling to the engine, along with the cutouts on each side of that. And this even has functional cutouts on the far ends of the bumpers, so that will further improve with aerodynamics. This even has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with a nice sleek housing to them. Matches very nicely with the rest of the bodywork, along with the lines that come down the hood. So everything is very clean and subtle and flows together very nicely for this convertible. As we move on to the side, this has a set of 19-inch wheels with that 5 split spoke design. Base brakes for this model that you can see just behind that. This also has body colored side mirrors with the integrated turn signal. The base of them is finished off in gloss black, and this has some really nice lines that run down the side. Now personally, I think this looks really good with the top down, and then when you do have the soft top up, it has a great design to it too. So it's really good, nice how BMW has incorporated the design. Whether you want the top up or down, that is why you're buying the convertible, most likely to have the top down most of the time. But I love the lines that run just underneath that door handle. And then there's a nice indentation just behind the front tire going all the way above the side skirt there, leading its way all the way to that back tire. And then for the rear of this 430i, the BMW badge is right in the middle, along with the backup camera. I love how it's integrated into that badge itself. This has LED taillights with a really nice housing to them. There's all the parking sensors, more gloss black in that lower diffuser, as well as the dual exhaust. So with the exterior wrapped up, let's work our way to the trunk. You can use the button on the key fob or the button just underneath the BMW badge, and that trunk will open up. Now with the top down, you can see there's still plenty of storage to place your items, so it doesn't hinder the amount of room. And this goes all the way back to the back seat area. Now over on this driver's side, there is a release for that back seat, so you can fold that down, and from this angle you can see you can slide in a little bit longer items if you need to. It still makes it pretty practical for a convertible. Over on this passenger side, there's a 12-volt and a net for extra storage. So it's pretty nice that it doesn't hinder that amount of space. There is one grab handle where you can grab on that, or you can grab on that trunk lid where the third brake light is also located right there. So it's nice that you do have that practicality even with the top down. Now as we work our way to the interior, you'll see that we have the beige interior, all leather of course. There's the memory seating adjustments, all the window controls. These side mirrors are power folding. You'll notice too that there's 4 window controls, or you can use this one in the back to put up and down all 4 windows. So currently they are all down at the moment, so it's nice that that has that option. You can also release the trunk. There's a little bit of storage space too. Now looking at the full leather interior, this is a really nice complement against the exterior color. We'll work our way to the back seats now. So all I need to do is pop that release and the seat will automatically move forwards, giving me plenty of legroom. With the top down, of course, I have plenty of headroom right now. Makes it much easier to enter. Right in the middle, there's 2 air vents, even all the climate controls. So temperature, where you'd like the air to go, 2 USB-C so you can charge electronics. There are 2 cup holders right in the middle, There's also the Harman Kardon sound system, tiny armrest there, and a little bit of storage. And then as far as headroom goes, I actually have a decent amount of space. My head is touching the convertible top, which also has a really nice design to it, but I can actually sit upright even though my head is touching. It's pretty comfortable for the top of my head, but I could be back here with the top up. So it makes it very practical if you need this amount of space or you just want to use it for additional storage. Now you can also look through to the back. There is this wind deflector currently in at the moment, but if you remove that, you can actually have a small cutout into the back of the trunk there. So it's nice that you have that. Plenty of visibility too, even with the top. It's very open feeling. And then to go to the front seats, I just have to put the backrest back. It will automatically slide back. There's all of the automatic adjustments and then the one manual adjustment just by pulling on that tab if you need a little bit more leg comfort. And then hopping into these front seats, it's very low, so it's easy to enter and exit. This entire steering wheel is finished off in leather, and then we have the heated steering wheel button down below along with some brushed aluminum accents. On this right side, there's volume and tuning along with Bluetooth adjustments. Cruise control is over on that left side, and this even has brushed aluminum for the paddle shifters. But let's fire this 430i back up. With my foot on the brake, that button is located down below, and we can bring this to life. And looking at this digital gauge cluster, on the left side is the miles per hour and the fuel level. On the right side is the tach and the engine temperature. Now the map will always stay in place right in the middle, which I think is nice to have. And then within that tach, you can actually use this button on the top of the turn signal stalk and go through some other information. You can see the total miles along with some other data information. There's even live readouts for horsepower and torque, along with the G-force meter. You can pull up music. Also look at what gear the vehicle is in along with the driving mode, and then there's a live readout for the fuel level, and we are back to that data there. So it's nice that that's somewhat configurable to give you all of that important information. Now over on this left side, there's all the headlight adjustments along with the parking lights, dimmer switches for the gauges. There's also one air vent, another speaker for that Harman Kardon sound system. And then right in the middle, we have the touchscreen system. Very easy to go through. This is in a lot of the BMW models in their recent years. So on the home screen, you can look at a lot of info like navigation. So if I click on that, that will bring it up in full screen. You can go to music and phone, also look at some data information. There's the compass along with the date and the time. You even have some blank spots there where you can add some more information. Now on this left side, this is all fixed. So you can get to your media on your phone, get to your navigation as you saw. If we go into car, you can go through a lot more info, and you can also use all of these dials down below. So there's various shortcuts right in the middle, along with the rotary dial that you can go through. So under driving information, you can look at some trip data. You can even pull up these sport displays to monitor all of that if that's something that you'd like to see. You have vehicle status, so you can quickly go through all of that information and all of those vitals. Under settings, you have a lot more like the interior lighting, your driver assistance. You can go through the different driving modes to configure everything there. So it's nice to have all of that. There's driver profiles, even the owner's manual too. And then the last one is apps. This does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and some other icons there that you can see, and just depending on what you like to download too. Now just underneath that, there's more brushed aluminum. There's even a small LCD screen. This is for all the climate adjustments. So if I turn on the fan, you'll see the temperature on each side, along with where you'd like the air to go. And there's even a shortcut to the intelligent safety just above that. So if you go into this, this is all the standard safety features that are available for this 430i that you can go to and configure as needed. So it's nice that you can quickly get to that. Now this does have heated front seats. There's some other AC and recirc adjustments on each side of those. And then underneath that, there's a power and volume button for the radio, along with all the presets and tuning. And you'll notice all of the wood trim that surrounds all the controls right in the middle. Now, if I open up this center storage area, you'll notice that this does have a wireless charging pad along with the BMW digital key card. So you can use that in place of your key fob if you need to for whatever reason. There's cup holders, a 12 volt and a USB. And then looking at the shifter with my foot on the brake, the release is on this left side. So by pushing it forwards, that will engage reverse, where you'll see the backup camera and the sensors. You can also have just the sensors if you'd like to. Now, if you put this into drive and then pop it to the left, that is the manual setting. So that allows you to use these paddle shifters if you like to. Park is on the back side. And then on this left side, there's traction control, the parking sensors, the engine start stop feature, and the different driving modes that you can go into. So if I push on sport, you'll see there are a few for that. Everything will turn red. Comfort is the next setting. And then the last one is Eco Pro, and you have a few different settings there. So just depending on basically the throttle input that you'd like to have. There's also the auto hold assist, the electronic parking brake. This has the heated headrests for each side. So when you have the top down by using this control in the middle, you can have your head nice and toasty. By pushing on the convertible top button down, that will go ahead and lower the entire top. And you can see from this angle, it's a pretty quick system. It's really nice though to have the heated headrests. We will be using those later in today's video. The armrest here is finished off in leather. If I open this up, there's a good amount of space, even with some auxiliaries, so you can charge electronics. And then there's a decent amount of space in the glove box as well. More wood trim and brushed aluminum on that passenger side. And we'll take another look at this beautiful interior. Up top, there's also the dome lights, and then of course we have the rear view mirror. As we get behind the wheel now for this 430i convertible, this model right here has an MSRP at just over $63,000. Now that is a good bit of money, but for the convertible and what you're getting from this BMW, I think that's pretty reasonable for all the features and everything that I've gone over today. Now you can get the 440i if you want to go up in power just a little bit, but for the 430, I think it's pretty adequate. Let's pop it over into sport mode though real quick, and we'll use these paddles here. It's pretty peppy. We're up to a speed just like that. And so I don't think it's underpowered by any means if this is the model that you want to go for, but you also want the convertible. And I love how it doesn't really look like a convertible. You can see the line in the middle here if you look very closely, but I mean, it's very well insulated. I've been in this vehicle before, and as we get out and merge onto the road, get a little bit faster, it's so comfortable and quiet, even with the convertible top. It's very composed feeling. So I truly like how convertibles today are very, very nice in the fact that it's not just some rag top that is thrown on. There's actual, development in making this as comfortable and as quiet as possible, but also giving you that top-down experience. And for this 2-liter, that was just a mild get up to speed, and we're already up to the speed limit. So as far as power goes, if you want the 430i for the price, yes, it has a smaller engine, but you're really buying this for the convertible. And as we make a quick U-turn here, the turning radius is pretty tight, so that's always impressive. And you've already seen all the features here. It's what BMW has had in a lot of their vehicles. Now this is a 2023, and BMW has incorporated that all-new screen, new shifter too. So maybe this 430i will see that at some point for this model. So I will say for now, this is kind of the older tech, but it gives you everything that you need, especially for a car like this. And the fact that we have other tech like the heated headrests, which I am going to turn on. It's about 28 degrees outside right now. So those are going to be helpful once we put the top down. And as we switch over to the POV angle now, we will pop it back into the sport mode. I am very impressed with the paddle shifters for this vehicle, because this is, like I mentioned earlier, not a performance-oriented vehicle, but the paddles are incredibly responsive, and I love how BMW does that. You may not be using these paddles that often in this type of vehicle, but if you need to downshift, you need a little bit more power, you can quickly do that. And now we don't have anyone behind us. We can roll the top down, which doesn't take that long to do. You don't have to be stopped either. I believe it's right around 20 miles an hour or so, where you can quickly do this. And once it beeps at us, I think we're good. We are good to go. I am going to put all of the windows up just for the audio purposes, and I love how you can use that one button in order to do that. And it's a little bit loud. We have some of the headrest on at the moment for that plastic there. But aside from that, it is actually very comfortable and enjoyable to drive. With the windows up, there's really no cross breeze, obviously, but with the top down, have the heated headrests on, so that way I can be nice and toasty even on a cold day like it is today. So it is very, very comfortable and enjoyable, as you would expect. Now, if you have the windows all down, obviously you're getting that full top-down experience, which if you're buying this, obviously that is what you are buying it for, to be able to do that and enjoy this. So with it in sport mode again, we will do one last acceleration. Handling is pretty good too, so it's nice to see that. And mild acceleration, we're up to speed. Definitely a cool convertible. If you're in the market for a BMW, you want something that it's a little bit more expensive than the average BMW or average new car vehicle, but it's something that you're interested in. I think it offers a lot. Very practical, or it can be very practical if you want to drive this every single day. But that is going to wrap it up for this 2023 BMW 430i Convertible. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake. Check out their link. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoy it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.